Okay, the next section of the video we're going to go over is one of the most important parts of the system, chokes and strangles. Without a doubt, the best technique on the face of this earth and the most natural technique on the face of this earth in a one-on-one situation is a choke. I do not care how strong or how big your attacker is, what kind of drugs he's on, how drunk he is. You wrap your arms around his neck and choke him, he will go out just like a baby would. That is by far and away one of the top techniques in the system. That's one of the reasons why we call it Pitbull Jujitsu, is because one-on-one is without a doubt the best. I mean, there is no such thing as a 100% technique, but this is by far and away the closest. And basically learn it more in a formal way at first. It's more safe because we do more breath chokes in Pitbull than we do blood chokes. We do variations of both in some circumstances, and we'll go over them. We're also going to be doing revival techniques. So this section will be chokes, strangles, and revival techniques. Okay, and that's mainly for the dojo use. If somebody gets choked out and you need to revive them, you're not going to probably revive an attacker. If somebody tries to rob you or whatever, you don't want to revive them, but your partner. You get a little carried away, he needs to be revived. That's what they're for. They're for your friends. They're for your training partners. Okay, we're going to go from this direction first. Turn this direction. Let's get forward a little bit. Okay, your uke, your training partner will be sitting in this fashion. You will come up behind him, put your hands on his shoulders, and be on the ball of your left foot and your right knee up. We're only doing this on the right side. You need to train these on both sides. The first choke that you want to do is the scarf choke. It's probably the most basic and most used one because it's the most simplest one to do. We're going to do this in a couple angles so you get a real good view of it. Okay, remembering what you want to try to do, the same leg that is up, that arm needs to be the arm that's doing the choking, or the actual arm that's around the throat. Okay? And never ever take your arm out far around, because then your attacker can throw you, grab your fingers, whatever. So make sure you just slide it in, putting your head down, shoulders behind. You go to palm, get down, wrist action, choke. As soon as your partner slaps out, you let go. Okay, I got in this angle mainly for this part. Now we're going to face the camera for the chokes itself. Okay? Remember, coming around, and basically this part of the thumb, the first main knuckle on the thumb, as soon as you see that, that is as far as you want to go with this, because this is your choking part of the arm. From that knuckle to this part of the wrist is what you're choking him. And the action that you are doing, you're pulling with this hand. At the same time, this wrist is driving up into the throat of the attacker. Making sure the shoulder, your right shoulder, or the same shoulder that you are choking with is behind the neck or behind the head, and your head is down. If he tries to swing at you, he might hit you a couple times lightly. He can't hit you full force. It only takes 2 to 4 seconds with a good choke to put a guy out. Okay, around, palm to palm, shoulder behind, wrist action. As you can see, I'm barely applying and he's slapping out because it's very painful. It works very fast. Okay, one more time. Wraps around to here, palm to palm, down, choke. It's a scarf choke. Okay, number 2 is called python. Some people call it sleeper. I call it python. It wraps around basically the same way. It comes down and up behind the head. As you can see, the same part is choking. It goes behind the head, and your head goes down into this triangle that you have right here. And you push down on the head, and you do that same wrist action with his hand and your arm, like this. Okay? It's a very painful one. You're pushing down on the head and up with the hand, up with the arm. It's python, squeezing it in. Okay, the third one is a scissor choke. Okay, basically you're going to wrap around, and this way you'll grab the lapel. You'll grab it all the way up so that thumb is right into the carotid artery, and that wrist is right in the front of the neck. And basically the elbow will drop straight down and grab your arm, and you're doing a two-way. You're doing this with this arm and this with this arm at the same time. Okay? Okay? It's your scissor choke. You're pushing forward on the head, back of the neck, back of the head, and in this way with this hand here. All right, the next one is the half Nelson scissor using the lapel. Come up grabbing, going all the way out on the arm, going back, you're pushing forward on the head, drawing back on the arm, and wrist action, same time. Okay? One more time, going around, thumb as far up as you can get it. Grab, out, push, choke. Okay? Now we're going to go to the naked half Nelson scissor. Basically, it's exactly the same thing. This hand goes around here, you go out up to here on this one, and your hand gets right on his shoulder, and you do the same thing. You hook into the shoulder. Okay? Without the lapel. Okay? One more time. It's up, on the shoulder, forward, press. Okay? Okay. Now what we're going to be doing is revival techniques, the revival part of the thing. Basically what I want you to do is turn around this direction. Okay? Your attacker is, or your training partner is laying on his back. He's been choked out. He's choked out pretty good. This is number one. Anytime, whichever hand that you're going to grab his neck, that leg needs to be up so you have good strength. The other hand grabs around the shoulder area, but you get right up underneath the neck. You pick him up and put your foot in a 45-degree angle up to support him. Then you come up to your feet, basically, not letting go like I just did, but just trying to show you. Then you put your palms right at the top part of his chest, and you're going to drive down. You listen, you can hear the air being drove back, and then with your fingertips, you come back, pulling and driving your knee in. Back and forth. The knees drive in, then it straightens up, back. Basically what you're doing is you're opening the air passages. Okay? The next one is grabbing him like in this position and using a palm strike right between the shoulder blades in an upward fashion. Okay? Hitting that until he revives. Them are your two best revival techniques. Okay? All right, the next section that we're going to go over is finishing round techniques. And you're going to notice how I've fashioned this system is basically everything is going to be learned in sections. You're going to have finishing ground techniques. You're going to have arm bars. You're going to have throws. You're going to have sweeps, reaps, and throws, leg blocks. You're going to have stop hitting, feinting, on and on and on. You'll have knife, gun, and club. You have kick defenses. You have punch defenses. Everything will be learned separately up to brown belt. Then you'll basically start putting this thing together. You'll start using everything. You'll start using your entering, your feinting, your stop hitting, your sweeps, reaps, and throws, down to your ground techniques, to ground fighting. And then basically the ultimate in this system is going all out, putting your protective gear on, and pretty much no holds barred, but in a controlled fashion. Basically, anything can go other than, we don't want to break each other's bones. Chokes and all that, all the arm bars is allowed, the throws, of course the kicks to the legs, knees, elbows, headbutts, you name it. Because that's going to get you closest ready for the street. It's still in a controlled fashion, but as close as we possibly can get safely. All right, the finishing ground techniques. Okay, just go ahead and go down. The first one, we'll do this in a couple of different angles for you, is the cross body arm bar. This is one that is very easy. A lot of systems use it. It's a very good thing to do. First thing you want to do is just get right up next to your attacker with your toes underneath his back and your other toe right by his head. And you want to drop all the way down as you're just like you're right here. And then as you fall backwards, you pull on the arm and this leg. If you want to turn his head, all you got to do is kick the face and turn in his head. And you want the arm in this angle, not straight up the groin, but in this angle, and then squeeze on it with this leg on the inside. And the thumb should be up. And then basically all you do is bridge for pain. You can snap the arm real easy. Don't take nothing. That's what this leg here is for. It's up underneath his back and bridge. Okay? But you need to be real close to him with biggest mistake I see with this is people are trying to do this when they're out like this. That is incorrect. You want to be right up on him, right, okay? Cross-body arm bar, okay? One more time. Spin around this way. Okay. You're right beside him, foot, toes underneath. Squat down, knee and shins right across his face. Fall and pull on that arm so that you're in good and tight. Your arm is in a 45, not quite a 45 angle, but an angle, so the arm is not going up your groin. Okay? His elbow should be right in this section of your leg. Okay? And you're pulling down in this position here as you rid your body. Okay? The next one is called a neck stock arm bar. Go ahead and stay there. Basically, when you're here, you can add like a stomp to the face with this, which you will, and most all techniques where we'll use this technique, and then you'll kick up underneath the head with the foot, and your leg should be all the way. Then you're going to squat all the way down. It's like you have an arm bar. This is a variation of it. You have an arm bar here. Okay? Just now you have a lot of good control, but you have a good choke. You're in a position to punch and things like that. So you grab the arm and you fall to your right side. Okay, now his arm needs to be his shoulder height or above. Okay? And then the thumb is up. This foot here, you're pushing into the neck as you push down on the arm. Okay? The neck stock arm bar. Okay? Next one. Oh, we'll do this in one more angle for you. Okay, what will be the best one? Here, turn around this way. Okay? We have the hand. We're stomping the face. Just reaching over, stomping the face. Then it goes and it kicks up underneath the head. Just like this. And you drop down your knee just like this. You should be right on top of him. As you can see, if you did this for long, he'd be passing out just with this. You have a lot of different things you can do from here. Grabbing the hand, pulling, falling back on your right side. You have the head hooked. Straighten the leg and push down on the arm. Pushing into him for the stock at the same time. Okay? Very good little technique. Okay, the next one that we're going to do, I call this the cross body arm bar. This is one of the more difficult ones. That's why we teach it in yellow belt, so that by the time you get to where you have to use these regularly, you will have them down. Turn around one more this way. Right there. No? Just keep turning straight. There you go. Okay. You have the arm. Basically, you're stepping across the body. That's one of the reasons why you call it the cross body arm bar. Another thing that you want to focus on is this part of the leg is what's getting him turned over on his belly, not my groin. A lot of people mess up and try to do that. So it's stepping, you want to get low, step to the head, step across the body, and that leg is making an arm bar. Then you just sit down, and you're sitting right on his shoulder, and you have this arm bar. Thumb is facing down now, as you can see. You have finger locks anytime any of these are applied. That's your cross-body arm bar. Very painful. Okay, again. Okay, you got him here. You take a step to the head, step across the body, and that leg hits, and he drops straight down. It'll roll him right over. You don't roll over, you'll damage his arm. Okay? Sitting on this cheek sitting right on that shoulder. Okay? Your rear back for the lock. Okay? Go this way. Got the arm up to his head. I step across. At the same time, I'm pulling slightly on the arm. I'm sitting on the shoulder, and I pull. Okay? Okay, you have a lot of control with this technique. One more time. Step to the head, cross, and down. Cross body arm bar. Okay, that's it. Okay, the next section of the video we're going to go over is grab defense techniques. And this is primarily to teach you grab self-defense techniques, but it also teaches you weapons, such as the headbutt. The first one that we're going to go over is the double lapel grab, which I consider an intimidation move. A lot of times what will happen is you'll have your attacker. He's probably big, got a big neck, bigger than you. You're looking at him, he's sitting there yelling at you, spitting in your face, and as time goes on, he gets to where you actually think that this guy can defeat you. And that's what he's wanting to do. He's intimidating you. This is one of the measures that he will use. And what they'll do is they'll grab and pull you in, call you different names, things of that nature, to try to get you ruffled up. As soon as he feels like you're an easy prey, then he will stomp you to death. So basically, when you're in that close, what you always want to rely on, you don't want to try to get fancy, you want to rely on your big guns, headbutts, knees, and elbows. And that's what I call this first technique, because you can use it in any type of variable. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples. The first main one of my favorite ones. But as long as you use these weapons correctly, no matter what technique you come up with, will be correct. All right. We'll go ahead and demonstrate the technique one time, and then I'm going to break it down and explain the weapons to you as we do it. Okay? What we're doing there is he grabs, just slowly, so I can explain this. As he grabs, he pulls you in. You're grabbing the head and headbutting to the face. You're using both hands, you're controlling the head. And headbutting right into the nose area is one of the best. Now, a headbutt is not like professional wrestling. We're not butting foreheads like that. That is stupid. Only idiots do that. Okay? This part of the head is what you want to headbutt with. And basically, you want to guide his face into that part of the head. So it's here. And I'm driving my knee up into his groin at the same time, right after the headbutt. Because I'm knocking his head back with a headbutt. I'm not driving the knee into the groin. Then I take a step back and I twist the neck as I fall back on my left knee, and his face will rest on that right leg. I control the chin and I drive a downward elbow right into the face. And here is what you want to do. At any time that you feel comfortable, you continue with your attack. You do not stop and try to get fancy doing several different techniques. You just drive and drive and drive until your attacker you feel your attacker is not going to attack anymore. Another example, right here. Okay? Bam, there's the headbutt. The rabbit knee. We're throwing them knees, we've hurt him with the headbutt, we go into the rabbit knees. Then do the neck throw. Start driving elbows. How you do it is immense. What you do with it is immense. But basically, if you let this guy grab you, he's going to be pulling you into him. You need to use weapons that's suitable for that type of situation. Nobody grabs you like this. Say, all right, buddy, that kind of thing. It doesn't work. It's like this, If you're trying to get you in there, the best weapons that you have is your headbutts, knees, and elbows. If you don't feel comfortable with the headbutt, you can always do this. Pulling you right into the knee, so just let you use your knee. You grab it onto the back of the shoulders, back of the head, things of that nature. Then you might want to grab the head, spin, do your elbow. Okay? So the variations of that technique is immense. Just work with them, practice them. As long as you know your weapons, it's easy for you. Okay? But the headbutt is one of my favorites. The guy can't punch you, and basically you're pounding him with your head. Okay, the next one is more of a technique. It's called leg pull. It's against a rib bear hug. Okay, first thing that you always want to do if a guy gets a bear hug clamped on you is stomp his feet. That is one of the best things that you can possibly do. It will loosen him up. Then you take your step back, dropping down, grabbing the leg, pulling it, turning, stomp kick to the groin. Okay? Grabbing, I rake down the leg, stomping the foot. Take my step back. I grab the leg. I pull, stomp, kick to the groin. Okay? Let's go this direction. I stomp the foot. I step back, I reach down, one hand, stomp kick to the groin. This way, stomp, back, grab, kick. One more time this way. And as you notice, so I go through this one slow. As I stomp, I'm raking down the shin. That way it guides my foot right into his foot. A lot of people say, well, how do you know you're going to stomp his foot? Because you're kicking into the shin and down, raking down into the foot. That's your perfect foot stomp. And as you step back here, and you just want to reach down with one hand. You don't really want to try to reach down with two. You can, but the back of your knee is what's doing the technique. Not the groin again. I stress that. People want to try to use that groin. Okay? Last time. Okay? Leg pull. Okay, this section of videotape, we're going to go over the sweeps, reaps, and throws that we use in the system. There's 5 of them. And before we get started, what I want you to do, and I'm going to give you an idea of what I'm talking about even more so with the last technique. I'm not going to do this through every one of them because it'd take a whole tape just to do that. You'll get the idea when I get to it. But earlier, we had the 3 finishing ground techniques. The crossbody arm bar, neck stock arm bar, and the step across arm bar. Now what you do with these 5 techniques that we're getting ready to do, which is the foot sweep, the outside leg reap, inside leg reap, leg block takedown, and head turn throw, is you want to practice all 3 of them finishing techniques with each one of these techniques. Okay? So I'll give you a greater explanation on the last throw. Okay, first we're going to do these 2 different ways. We're going to do this against a just standing there basically learning how to do the technique first. We'll do this in 2 different angles so you have a pretty good idea. So right now all we're doing is just learning the technique. This has not got anything to do with self-defense or fighting. You're just going to come in, grabbing the elbow, grab the shoulder, take a step behind, sweep the foot, drop the knee. Okay? Stepping straight forward, grab the elbow, grab the shoulder, step behind, and you want to sweep the foot in the same direction as the toes. Okay? Go this way. Step forward, grab the elbow, grab the shoulder, pressing down to 130. Sweep the foot, shake him down. Okay? You can also go like this. Practice it both ways. Put the hand across the chest. Put the foot behind. And sweep. Okay, next I'm going to ask them to get in a left lead in a fighting stance. And we're going to basically show you how you do this in an offensive motion more combatively. Okay? You be in a right lead. You might grab out here. You got a palm strike to the face. There's your sweep. And then you can go into your 3 ground finishing ground fighting techniques. Okay? Do what we call pull trap. You remember that, the first of the tape. The palm strike to the face. Coming in. Sweep, drop the knee, go into your ground fighting. Okay? Okay? Go this way once, twice. Making sure that you sweep. Don't try real hard with this. Basically, it's just an unbalancing takedown. You want to get him down to the ground to finish him down there. Okay, that is number 1. Number 2 is the outside leg reap. Okay? Basically, you always want your training partner to stand with his feet shoulder width apart to save his ankles and so he don't get kicked in the Achilles tendon, the calf muscles, or the hamstrings because it's very painful. So make sure that your training partner stands at about his shoulder width apart, maybe even a little farther for safety purposes. Okay, first thing you're going to do is step left foot forward, grab the elbow and the shoulder, pushing down to 12 o'clock. Leg, come in and palm strike.
Aya! Aya!
A couple times. Outside leg reap is one of the most common sweeps or reaps there is. It's a very good one. It's one that I'm sure once you learn it, you'll go to as well. This is very simple to execute. Coming up, bringing the leg up high, and just
Aya!
reap the leg. You should land right in front of you. Step into a palm strike. Palm strikes is the best thing really to hit with. You hit with your fist a lot of times, you break your knuckle on your head. You're still going to get the same thing out of it with the palm strike. Okay, now we're going to do this in a defensive manner. The first technique we did in offensive. This one we're going to do in a defensive. Okay? We'll do this one against a hook punch. Okay? We're dead blocking the arm. Palm strike.
Aya!
And palm strike down on the ground.
Aya!
Go this way. Step into the guy. Get down low.
Aya!
Don't just walk in straight like this, like a robot. That'll get you hurt.
Aya!
Okay, one more time. Stepping out, down, wrapping hook, pushing on the palm.
Aya!
Palm strike. Okay, number 3 is the inside leg reap. Okay, very simple technique to do, very damaging technique to do. We're going to do this just to show you how to do the technique. Okay, stepping forward with your left foot, grabbing the elbow with your left hand and the shoulder with the right, and you're going in this angle. Here, you're going straight up between his legs, hooking the leg, going out to the side,
Aya!
and then a groin kick once he's down. Step forward, grab, unbalance, straight, hook,
Aya!
side, kick. Step forward, left foot, elbow,
Aya!
kick. Go this way a couple times.
Aya!
Notice how close I am into him. You don't want to push him away. The push is only enough to unbalance the guy and get his weight on the leg that you want to reap.
Aya!
Put him right in front of you so you can continue your attack. Okay, now we're going to do this in an offensive manner. All these techniques you can do in offense, defensively, and just do it in your regular manner of learning the technique. So do it all 3 different ways. Okay, come forward just a little bit. Okay, just standing there. This is basically how we're going to do it here. We're going to do exactly the same way that we did it, but we're going to add a knee with it. I'm going to give you 2 separate variations of this. Basically, when you step forward, bam, you're slamming a knee into the groin as you hook
Aya!
and kick to the groin. Or you get him in a left lead and slide forward, hit the shoulder, hook the leg,
Aya!
and make it go down. You have them 2 to work on. Making sure you hit the shoulder,
Aya!
pushing in that direction. So you get that weight on his leg.
Aya!
Okay? Inside leg reap. One more time slowly. I slide forward. I'm real close. I hook.
Aya!
Kick. Okay, the inside leg reap. That's number 3. Number 4 is the leg block takedown. We'll do this in 2 different directions. Okay? Just a little more. Here. Okay, you're going to step forward with your right foot this time, grabbing the shoulder and elbow in the same exact way. You're going to hook your leg around his leg, hook forward,
Aya!
and drop down with a knee strike to the groin. Okay? I take a step forward, I grab the arm and the shoulder. I push straight back. Hook the leg.
Aya!
Straight down into the groin with the knee. And bang. All your body weight.
Aya!
Okay?
Aya!
Okay? So this way, do it a couple times.
Aya! Aya! Aya!
Holding on to the arm, if any way possible. That way you can get into your finishing locking techniques easier. Okay, the next technique that we're going to work on is the single leg takedown. And we're going to do that in an offensive manner only. Taking the right leg. Okay, first thing you want to do, now here's where your finting comes in. This is your first technique that you want to work, finting training. Basically, it's for a high fint and you're going low, single leg takedown. Okay? You fint high, drop down in between his center, arm right above the elbow, foot
Aya!
up, and stomp, making sure the leg is pretty much straight up in the air as you're stomping straight down. Right leg.
Aya!
You want to get him going thinking high. Then he's coming down like this. So if he tries to kick or knee, you got to block both hands. Don't worry about it. Just makes the technique easier for you. Here, making sure you scoot the foot out along the ground and not lift the foot up.
Aya!
Stepping forward to where the leg is straight up in the air. Stomp straight down the ground. Okay, now on this one, what I want to do is show you two ankle locks, leg locks, that we're going to put with this. There's your high fint. Going down, you lock,
Aya!
you stomp the groin, you stomp the leg outward with the heel inside the thigh. You lean forward and headlock the ankle to where your radial bone is right on the Achilles tendon. And basically you lift up, pull backward. That's all you're doing. Okay? Here.
Aya!
Stomp, stomp. Up, back. That's your technique. It's your first one. Okay. One more time.
Aya!
Okay, you want to make sure that you feel these toes on the back of your arm. Okay, the next one is a step over ankle lock. Forward just a little bit farther so you can camera. There's your fake. Work on that quite a bit.
Aya!
Take down. There's your stomp. Then you step across as you're doing this. Grabbing the knee and back. Okay? Making sure your right leg, in this case, is between his legs, not the outside. Here.
Aya!
Stomp. Roll and set. And lean back.
Aya!
Let's go one way this way.
Aya!
Sitting right on his back, small of his back. Have hold of the knee and lean back. Okay. Then let's do the two leg locks that I want you to work on. Okay, the last technique that we're going to do today is the head turn throw. And we're going to work it against the hook punch. Okay? Bam! Ramming a headbutt into an elbow, put him down to a knee, setting that foot down, push his head through, lift his arm, and drop your knee to the body. This is a don't. Don't do this. Okay, that's no-no. You don't want to do that. When he throws that punch, you go in and you're ramming your head right into his face. Right here is what you want to headbutt with. It's a very thick portion. You want it down, looking straight at his chest. You can see it, and you're running it into his nose. Okay? Okay? Another thing, do not do this. Do not wind up on this elbow. It takes too much time. Here. Throughout the block. Still have a hold of the arm. Hack the neck. Pull him in the knee. Now in practice you do this to the body. In street you pull it down to the face. Set the foot down. Two-way action. You push the arm this way. Head through. Drops him. Bam. To the body with another knee drop. Let's go this way. Headbutt. Elbow. Wrap. Knee. Sit down. Lift the arm. Push on the head. He drops. Drop the knee to the body. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go through all three of the finishing ground techniques that we did earlier. And basically what I want you to do is use these same three techniques on all the techniques that we just went over. Okay? Bench. Okay, cross body arm bar. Thumb up. Angle. Bridge for the lock. Okay? Scoot around a little bit. You wouldn't do that, of course, in the street. Stomping the face, hooking the leg, the foot up underneath his head, dropping straight down, and falling in this angle. Thumb up, pushing on the head. There's your arm bar. Okay? Step across the body and arm bar. Last one. Okay? Got the arm, thumb facing down, go across, set right your right cheek right on the shoulder. Rolling back. Thumb should be facing down, remember. Okay? So that's basically what I mean. All the 5 techniques that we just did earlier, you will do using all 3 of them finishing techniques.